طيب. Come to chapter 173. باب قول الرجل للصغير يا بني.
Chapter 173, a man saying, my son, to a child. 369.
Right, so from the beginning, Abul Ajlan al Muharabi. He said, I was in the army of Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Abdullah ibn Zubayr, who was the head of Mecca, and he had an army and he was fighting al-Hajjaj. Now he said, is my cousin, he had died and was killed. Sorry, he was died. And he had made a will, which is a camel, to be given fi sabilillah. So I said to the son of my cousin, who is the inheritor of that camel, that is to give me that camel so I could use it in the army of Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Abdullah ibn Zubayr is a great companion. May Allah be pleased with him and his father. So he said to him, okay, before I give it to you, and it sounds good because I'm going to give you the camel, and my father said, use this camel for what? Fi sabilillah. Fi sabilillah, it means, fi sabilillah, in general, everything good. But if it's in some, like in the Quran, it used for what? For jihad, in the ayah. إِنَّمَا الصَّدَقَاتُ, when Allah says, fi sabilillah, it means the jihad. So the jihad. So, fi sabilillah is every righteous deed, and one of them, the ultimate, is to put it for jihad. So, he did not want to give that camel to him, even though he's fighting in the army of Abdullah ibn Zubayr as a companion. So he said to him, let me go and have a fatwa. Fatwa from whom? From Abdullah ibn Umar, who is a greater companion than Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Do you understand that? Because he could have just said, well, Abdullah ibn Zubayr must be fighting, he's a greater companion, take the camel and that's it. But Abdullah ibn Umar is older, and he's more of a companion, more of a man, and he's deserved the Khilafah more than Muawiyah, but Muawiyah was the Khalifa. Radiallahu anhu wa arda. Abdullah ibn Umar, whom Allah Azza wa Jal had affirmed in the fitna. Let's go to Abdullah ibn Umar. I don't mind giving the camel, I just want to make sure that what I'm giving you is what my father wants. That is, itikulmi fi sabilillah. So we went to Abdullah ibn Umar, and now the questioner is the one who's questioning. The one who's talking is the son of my cousin. He's saying, oh, Abdur Rahman, yes, my father
died and bequeathed one of his camels to be used in the way of Allah. This is my cousin, and he is in the army of Ibn Zubayr. Shall I give him the camel? Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said, my son, the way of Allah includes every correct action. If your father bequeathed...
Every righteous action. Better. Every righteous action. Now.
If your father bequeathed his camel...
Bequeathed. Bequeathed means awsa. He bequeathed means wasiyah of it. Now.
If your father bequeathed his camel in the way of Allah, the Mighty and Exalted, when there are Muslims making raids against the idol worshippers, then give them the camel.
If you see Muslims are fighting with idolaters, mushrikeen, then you give this camel to them. So here your father, he said to him, yes, when he said to him, my father, he has said that this camel is to be given to the sabilillah. And my cousin here is fighting in the army of Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Shall I give him the camel? Abdullah ibn Umar, he said, very, fi sabilillah, every good deed, every righteous deed. And if your father had said to this camel to be given for fi sabilillah, then if you see people who are Muslims fighting non-Muslims, polytheists, then give them the camel. As
this man
was your cousin, this man,
and his companions.
And his companions, that means the army that he's joining, his companions,
are fighting for the sake of some lads, each of whom wishes to impose his own seal, that is rule.
Right. They are fighting fi sabili ghilmani qawm. They are fighting in an army, which is the army of Abdullah ibn Zubayr, that racing each other, competing with one another. Who's going to put the taba'? What is the taba'? The seal. You know when you send a book, like a formal book, and then you put at the end, the president of so-and-so, or the headmaster so-and-so, or the prince so-and-so, or the commander so-and-so. So all of them are competing to have what? the seal. To be what? A leader. That's amazing. Every one of them is competing to be a leader. Now, this is a great hadith, great athar. If you just, and as I said before on Monday, I'm going to say this is a gift for whom who are calling for khuruj. The ones who are calling for khuruj, this is your gift. Very good gift for you. If you learn it, you will know. This is for the person who's saying khuruj, khuruj, khuruj. They're saying that look at Abdullah ibn Zubayr, look at Al-Husayn radiyallahu anhuma and an abawayhima. May Allah be pleased with them and their fathers as well, because Zubayr and Ali ibn Abi Talib, all of us are companions, great companions. So they use them as an alibi, they use them as a proof to say, look, these people made khuruj. Subhanallah. Wallahi, the khuruj, the coup, in the whole of the history of Islam never brought any good. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I mark my words. In the whole history of Islam never brought good. What did it bring? Chaos. Bring what? Chaos. A president being kidnapped. Have you heard about a president being kidnapped of a country? What type of president he is? What type of power has he got? A president that can be kidnapped. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or shall I make it clear? Do you understand what I'm saying? A president in Libya, the president was kidnapped. What type of president he is? I'm asking. What type of president? What sort of power has he got? On the whole history of Islam, coup, they never brought any. And I'm not saying this is to prove my point because I know what's going to happen. Those people who are calling for the coup, they have no religion, they have no knowledge except for what is suitable to his whims and desire. The whims and desire, fawda, chaos. They know that only, but they don't know their proper knowledge. Wallahi, the coup always brings bloodshed. It brings, that is Islam being wasted. Money and wealth of the Muslim countries being wasted. The land is being wasted. Islam in itself is being wasted. As Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he said, La dina aqamu wa la dunya abqaw. Religion they did not establish, nor dunya they have left. Dunya has been finished, the economy is disaster, everything is disaster. Security, safety is gone. What is that? I'm asking lots of people, whoever, which country he belongs to, what did that coup bring to you? You know, I could come out during the night, 8 o'clock, that's what it brought out to me, mashallah. I could speak whatever I want, mashallah. Come on, think about it, brother, think. Don't be like a person who is being brainwashed and repeat, well, I could speak whatever I want. You mean nobody could speak whatever I before anyway. No, but I could change the government whenever I want, mashallah. What type of government is going to be like if you could change it whenever you want? This government is not really good enough, strong enough to protect my family. Because if you are powerful enough and I just told this government to stop you from harming me, you will change it. If that government does not stop you, you're going to change it. If it managed to stop you, you will kill it. What type of government? So we say that Abdullah ibn Zubayr, radiallahu anhuma, and Al-Husayn, radiallahu anhuma, wa an abihi, and all of them, yes, they have done what they've done, but this is not the way. All the scholars, they made Al-Husayn to be wrong in what he has done. All the Sahaba, radiallahu anhum wa ardah, women before men, they tried to convince Al-Husayn not to go out and take the plate from the Iraqis and to make the khuruj, except for Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Just Abdullah ibn Zubayr. All the rest of the companions, Jabir ibn Abdullah, Anas ibn Malik, Abdullah ibn Umar, all these companions, and the women as well, they tried to convince him not to go, except for Abdullah ibn Zubayr. And Allah's qadar has to take place. But Abdullah al-Husayn himself, he regretted finally. But he was too late, he was killed. Him and his family were killed under oppression, wal-iyadu billah. But this is what the coup does. The coup brings chaos and brings blood. We never say that al-Husayn is a khariji. A'udhu billah. So al-Husayn, he made ijtihad and he was mistaken. Because remember, al-Husayn is a companion. And you never say anything about the companion except for what is good, regardless who's the companion. Whether it's the Husayn, whom we know that he is him and his brother, Sayyida Shababi Ahli Jannah, the head of those youngs, the masters of the youth on the day of resurrection in the Jannah, inshallah. So I would say that this is, as I said, I would say that it's a gift basically this hadith, this athar, for those who are still talking about the coup. And we remember, we tell them that those leaders who are tyrant, who led you and led us, this is because as a result of what we have earned with our own hands. We deserve it. We deserve these leaders who are tyrant, because we did not do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to do. So what we see now from the leaders is what we deserve. We don't deserve Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. We are not so good to deserve Umar al-Khattab. Those people who do not really hear and obey, that's what they deserve. We tell them this is because of what you have earned. So it's not really justice always to look at that side of the equation and not to look at this side of the equation, that is yourself. Make a coup against yourself. How about that? A coup against yourself. I'll tell you what, maybe the governors should make a coup against you. Imagine that. That means to change you in order to change themselves. You understand that? Just like making a coup against them to change them in order to change you, you should do the same as well to you. Because we deserve them. We people, they don't really, like I said, those people who ask for the coup, they got nothing of the knowledge except what is suitable to their whims and desire. And I know that for a fact. So, ibadallah, taqullah. Fear Allah regarding the blood of the Muslims, please. How many Muslims do you want to have to be, shed and to be killed just in order for you to be convinced? Coup does not bring anything except for chaos. Islam is not chaos. Islam is a system. Islam has to be implemented with safety and security. No? So, we don't want this to happen to Algeria. I don't want this, God forbid, to happen to my own country, Jordan. Okay? So, wallahi, I told you I met this Iraqi doctor. Have I told you about this Iraqi doctor I met him? On Monday, did I tell you about this? Wallahi. He said, Wallahi, Saddam was better, even as a Shia himself. Subhanallah. He says Saddam is better, and he knows who's Saddam. He's a tyrant leader, but tyrant leaders have security, safety. Nobody would dare to come touch my family. But now it's chaos. A president can be, kidnapped, and your wife can be kidnapped. Who's your wife? There's got no protection like the president. So Allah al-Musta'an. Allah al-Musta'an, Allah al-Musta'an. We don't want the Khawarij to rule us. No. We don't want those people who are looking like Muhajirun or Ansar, whatever the name is, to be in command. No, we don't want them. They have no knowledge whatsoever. They just started, like from the beginning, and they're becoming like now making takfir upon the people. Allahul Musta'an. Now, coming back, we say here that why did he bring all of that hadith? It's just for the sake of when Abdullah ibn Umar answered the son of that man who had died and he had given his camel for the sake of Allah, he said to him, Ya Bunay, my dear son, the mercy. Ya Bunay. So he's talking to, because he's younger than him. Ya Bunay. Abdullah ibn Umar is an old man now. Ya Bunay. This man is not fighting for the sake of Allah. Your father bequeathed this camel for the sake of Allah. And for the sake of Allah is everything righteous. That means whatever they're doing is not righteous. Whatever they're doing is not righteous. If you see people who are Muslims fighting kuffar, and I'm not excluding Muslim against Muslims when we have the other Muslims to be al-fi'atul baghiyah. Do you understand that? If that group of Muslims happens to be known to be al-fi'al baghiyah, you know what al-fi'al baghiyah? The transgressed group, then after we try to arbitrate, still فَإِنْ بَغَتْ إِحْدَاهُمَا عَلَى الْأُخْرَى فَقَاتِلُوا الَّتِي تَبْغِي حَتَّى تَفِيَ إِلَى أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. Yes, we will fight that group of Muslims who are trying, we try to arbitrate, yet they want to fight. Then we will fight it until what? It goes up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like that Ali ibn Abi Talib when he fought the Khawarij. Khawarij are Muslims. So when he fought them in the day of Naharawan, after the fighting, he did not, for example, follow the one who ran away. Because if he was an enemy of Allah, idolater, he would have followed him and have captured him. There's no capturing, no following, no killing the person who is about to die if somebody's wounded, and to kill him. Not to use them as what? Slavery. You remember we studied that in the jihad? We can't slaverize them because they are our brothers. So it's two groups of Muslims. If we know that one of them is baghiyah, fi'atun baghiyah, transgressor, after we have told her that you're not correct, you're not wrong, you're wrong. Like when Kuwait had invaded, Iraq invaded Kuwait, we told to the Iraqis, no, you should not be done. Then still, Saddam and his people, they want to be there, and we will fight them until go what? They go back to Iraq, but we're not allowed to go invade Iraq. We're not allowed to use that women as to be slaverized. It's not allowed. This is only between us and the disbelievers, kuffar. But between us and the Muslims, until that stops, is transgression. Once it stops transgression, we can't take them as prisoners of war. We have to release them straight away. We can't follow their people who have fled from the battle, like we follow, for example, the ones who are disbelievers. So all of that has to be understood. This is fiqh al-jihad. Fiqh al-jihad that we have been teaching for the last, I think, 5-6 months, or more than that. Yeah, 4 or 5 months. Now,